What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another installment of Avoiding the XLCH. And by that I just mean I got other things we need to do. We are traveling. Let me open the garage door. We are taking a trip this weekend. I am leaving after work on Friday. Well, we are leaving after work on Friday, which means we need to get the van fixed and loaded down. Mechanically, I have no concerns. Tires are good, carb's good, fuel lines, that's the only part that I'm kind of worried about because I did have one fuel line split. Other than that, from winter storage, I mean, it split right at the hard bend on the elbow where the fuel line hooks up to the carb, and I never upgraded to steel lines. So we're running a lot of rubber, not track rated, but for a street car it works. It's got a mechanical fuel pump. I'm not running a high pressure line, so it is what it is. Anyways, on the van, today's goal, we need to open up the slider door, yank the seat off, and for whatever reason the power inverter is not actually turning on. I charged the battery with a extension cord. We got a side mount on the outer panel of the van to charge the battery for any of the camping type weekends. Pay for a power spot, plugs in, then we're good for the weekend or a week or however long we're gone, whatever that may be. But the power inverter, when I got like a boat switch, essentially like a marine style switch, so I can designate one, the way I got it wired up right now, if I remember correctly, this has been a year and a half, 2 years. One is strictly mechanical, functioning, running, driving setup. Two is only the house battery. If you're familiar with marine or boat stuff, you got a main battery for your drive line. You have a separate battery for the house or cabin or whatever, all of your fun accessories. That's pretty much how I laid this one out. We have a main battery. One is primary motor alternator. That's it. Two is cabin, which is a deep cell 100 amp hour battery. Will not last us the entire weekend, but we also have a little gas generator, so I can plug that in, charge everything up. We're good to go. It's all LED lighting. The biggest draw we have on that is the plug-in electric cooler, which, again, if we got to use regular coolers, we can do that too, but we got a nice little chest cabin area for that. And then we have the all setting, which is why I did the boat mechanical one. If I put it on all, it will take power from the alternator and charge both batteries. So driving down the road, both batteries get a charge. If the rear one is running low, it's electricity, so it's going to go to the lowest battery. It'll send it down to the back battery and charge off of the alternator. Not ideal on a deep cell. You typically want to run those from run them dry, plug it into the wall, charge it, but it is what it is. Anyways, the secondary battery is not working, so I'm going to bring you guys in the van, yank the seat out, and we'll take a look at that and figure out what's going on. Welcome to the inside of the van. We got the slider door open. Here's kind of what we did on this. Just wood slab, it's cheap pine, nothing super fancy, but it is slotted, stained, ready to go. I'm gonna get as much room as I can. I really don't want to have to pull out the entire slide out bed portion. So I'm hoping that we can get by like this and get to all the electrical that I need to, which is, if I drop you guys down, buried underneath here, which you won't be able to see because GoPro low lights is not the best. This cooler in our little cooler chest is a 12 volt plug-in right here, which we have run to a power strip. I did put an auxiliary fuse panel in here, right there. So auxiliary fuse panel, this powers the lighting and the power inverter down here. So all of the hot leads from this come straight from the power inverter or the separate battery. I don't remember how exactly I laid that out. We're going to find out when I get a little bit farther into this. LED fluorescent, well, that's just a fluorescent, but this is what we're looking at right now. If we go through and click this switch over, and this has been working for 2 years, year and a half. If I go from off means that nothing here It's just a straight power from the main battery into the switch. Off does nothing. If I click this onto 1, we get a bunch of power to the back because they are all synced. Anyways, 1 runs off the main battery in the engine bay. All is going to bridge the 2 batteries together. And 2, when I click this on, it's going to make a beeping noise. Or it should when I turn the power inverter on. It says fault. So I have an issue on there, and I don't remember if that is something that I messed up or I changed in the course of winter storage, or if something's actually broken. On the back side of this, and this is going to be really, really hard to see, but we do have a marine battery down here underneath my hand. 100 amp hour marine battery. It's all wired in, bolted down. The marine battery is also hooked up to this lead right here. Is, man, this is a train wreck of wiring. But this right here is a straight little electrical mini extension from the outside of the van to the inside of the van. So if I plug a house powered AC, whatever it may be, this cord is live 120 circuit. So if we go camping or anything else like that, I just run a little power inverter dangler connector from a power shore station right into the side of the van. Then we have power all weekend on this lead, which will typically go into the little light strip and give us everything we need for that. At the house, I'll plug an extension cord on the outside of the van. This also hooks up to the, man, it's so dark in here, battery charger that I have right down here. So what I'm going to do is open up the back doors, turn you guys around a little bit, and maybe try and move the bed or shift the bed a little bit farther. I'm 100% going to get yelled at for fixing or moving all of this to work on it, because she hates wrestling this mattress back into place. I wish we could have made it a little bit better. We still might at another point in time, but oh well. Let me open the doors up and get some more light in here, and then we'll take a look. Well, I opened up the back lights, or I opened up the back doors. It's a little bit brighter in here. Now, you can see that red lead that runs down right in front. This is a smart battery charger, so got that all hooked up. Everything else is working. I'm gonna keep sliding this part of the bed out. Like I said, I've got 2 grabs here. Pull this all the way out. I gotta clear out 1 more carburetor box of Harley parts. Then we can diag what is going on with the power inverter. I do have a brand new, way nicer power inverter sitting in the shed that was gifted to me from some relatives that decided to do a camper thing. One of the big old newer campers. They ended up not using it, but they bought a bunch of brand new stuff. I reaped the benefits of them deciding that they didn't want to be on the road nomad people, and got lucky with that one. Like I said, the battery charger, if I plug the battery charger in straight to the battery, it says 100% charging is working proper. We'll find out here in a minute. Okay, from the top view, here's what we are looking at. If we come down, and you guys are going to be through the slats, so take my word for everything I'm telling you. I will explain how I did all of this. This was a learning process for sure. But this big blue box right here is a power inverter. On this lead, the black and red wire, just standard if you're familiar with motorcycle stuff. It's just like your battery tender style lead. None of that is hooked up right now. So this typically will run directly to my power source here. And the downside to doing it this way, this is a slow smart charger. I don't know why I just jammed that up here, but it's a slow smart charger, which means it does not put a fast charge on these batteries. And like I said, with the deep cell batteries, you typically don't necessarily want to run these at a high charge rate, nor do you want to have to charge them regularly. You want to drain them completely and then refill them completely. Kind of like the iPhone or laptop or computer problems that you run into on a regular basis. Let it drain all the way, charge it up all the way. The short cycle fast charge, from everything that I've understood, is really bad for them. So 100 amp hour battery. I now have that hooked back up to the battery charger direct. So there's my power in 110, 120, not 12 volt. This is house style electric, hooked up to the charger. So if we look at the other end of this, I'm gonna disconnect this entire power block and the extra extension cords for outdoor stuff, because we haven't used this all summer. I don't remember what's what anymore, or what goes where, and we have a giant tangle of wires that need to be cleaned up anyway. So a lot of these are decorative aesthetics. Well, if you ask me, they're decorative aesthetics. If you ask Dottie, they're van essentials. So, you know, obviously we're gonna differ a little bit on that, which is perfectly fine. This little decorative thing is in my way, so we'll get rid of that. I don't know what that is. A fake plant holder? A plant holder? Or in a van? What do you need a plant holder for? Anyways, I'm gonna keep digging through all of these wires. What we're left with is one power strip. There. This actually runs down below the white wire here. Like I said, I'm literally bringing you guys along with me on this. I don't know what's hooked up to where, but it looks like that plugs directly into the power inverter. Ratchet straps everywhere too. Yep, so that's straight to the power inverter. So now power inverter is completely disconnected. This might just be as simple as a little toggle switch that I didn't hook up. I don't know. Let me trace this for 2 seconds. I'll bring you guys down to the bottom and give you a quick look at what I'm looking at down here. But there's the power inverter mounted to the floor. The electrical cord right here is what should have gone into the power inverter. I'm guessing it's not hooked up. It looks like there might be a power. This whole ordeal might have just been because of the power button. Or maybe I'm wrong, and this is a major deal. We'll find out. Let me turn you guys around. Let me diag this real quick. I just clicked it over to 2, which is the house battery. I turned the inverter on, and I'm getting the beeping and the fault code. So I'm gonna talk over the beep real quick. Nothing else is hooked up to this. I'm hitting that button, and now the beeping has gone away. So that's fun. You guys are now jammed right underneath the front faceplate of the van power inverter. Let's see if this will hook back up. There is an extra auxiliary ground down here that we're not gonna run. And that, in theory, should give me power to the power strip. So now we're back up top. I'm running off of battery 2, which is this house battery right here. Power inverter is hooked up. Down low, we have the power strip hooked up to that, which will give me 110 house power, which means this should technically run the coffee machine and all of the luxuries. Hair straighteners, apparently those are super important to have on your weekend trips. You can't go out with curly hair when you're camping out for a weekend. Don't be fooled, boys. That's a no-no. But power inverter or power strip is going to run down and connect directly into the inverter, which we now have. That's good. But I also want to clear up the rest of these wires. And then I do have speakers in the van and a radio. I just jammed 2 speakers right in front of here. Not exactly the best for sound because it butts up right to the cooler box, which was not in here prior. Now it is. So it's kind of a ongoing, this will never be done project. It's a crappy old CD player radio with an MP3 plug-in that we don't actually use that much, and that radio has a bunch of very loose wires on the backside, so every bump you hit, it dies. So we're doing a Bluetooth big little pod speaker. That should be fine for 3 hours. Sync it right up to the phone. The cigarette lighter works, the charger works, should be good on that side. And if not, if all of the electrical stuff in the backside's fixed, we have a full power strip where we can charge up the speaker, we can charge up phones, we can charge up whatever else we're doing. And then we'll bring a little jump pack just in case, because traveling without tools sucks. Traveling with tools, if I don't need them, yeah, it takes up some space, but I'd much rather have my stuff with me than not. So, like I said, I got this switched over to 2. It's no longer beeping at me, which is good. Unless it just turned off. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not gonna bring you guys along live on this, because if I get super frustrated, I'm gonna start swearing. That's frowned upon. But I will let you know exactly what happened. So let me mess with this for a couple minutes and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the update. I think the battery's shot. Messed around with it a little bit. I got the van running right now. I popped the hood, chased some wires down, make sure everything's hooked up right. I messed up over the winter for storage because we have a RV fan. This is run direct power into this fuse panel. Here is the power for the LED lights. That I left on the fuse panel. I have one red lead down here somewhere. Or did I just drop it? Hold on. Let's dig down into the pit. Here's my hot lead. This is direct from the auxiliary battery. So that gets bolted on right there into the fuse panel. I did not disconnect that before winter, which means that this battery was sending constant power to that fuse panel this entire time and drained it completely. So right now, if you look on the switch, I'm on the all setting. My power inverter is lit up and working proper. We're at 15.7 volts. It says the battery is fully charged. However, if we click this over to number 2, this has been running for about a half hour now. That's gonna drop. And we lose everything down here, which means it doesn't have enough power to run on its own. So the house battery is taking a charge. It could just be completely dead. But as of right now, I'm guessing that's probably pretty much shot. I can't get a battery in time for TorqueFest, so we are gonna be doing the generator life. Not that big of a deal, planned on doing that anyway. So what that means is I'm gonna bring an extra extension cord, plug the generator into, get the generator started outside of the van, and then plug an extension cord into the quick disconnect through the side body of the van. That'll give me a power lead here. That will power the power strip, and we will run everything else off the generator moving forward and lose power overnight. Lucky for us this year, for TorqueFest, you never know what the weather's gonna be like, but lucky for us, it is supposed to be down in the 40s, so not overly concerned about that. I don't know enough about these deep cell batteries, if me charging it off the alternator burnt it out, or if me leaving it over. We've had it in there for 2 years, I haven't had any problems until this year when we parked it, and I realized I didn't disconnect any of the live connections. So hopefully that's all it is. I'll order up a new battery, get that dropped in for this upcoming summer, and go from there. I don't know if the battery's too low to take a charge, or if it's just shot. So we're gonna gamble on it. That's kind of all we can do, because we are leaving Friday, right after work. I'm not doing anything else. Everything's gonna be packed, loaded. I'm getting home from work. We're jumping in this and taking off. If we don't have the creature comfort luxuries, I'll fix it for the next one. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We're rounding that 1,000 subscriber mark. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends. Van things, chopper things, car things, truck things, motor things, I don't know, anything mechanical that we're working on, that's what we do here. Doesn't matter what it is, play around with everything. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Okay, so if you are from the Midwest, we are taking a quick little trip up to the Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, elsewhere, I don't know what else they're called, but we're right at the border of Wisconsin. We go to Menards because they give you 11% rebates, and I need a battery. I thought we were dead in the water. I just realized that they have them in stock at the store about 10 minutes up the road. So I'm gonna run up to Menards, grab a 100 amp hour battery. Might not be as good as the one I got, but it's better than not having one. So gonna grab that. The other nice thing is with the deep cell batteries, you can actually bridge the terminals. So if this one's not completely shot and just needs more of a charge, we can loop them together, and now we're gonna have 200 amp hours. If it doesn't work, then I'm just replacing the battery. It's about the same price as the ones on the internet. So we'll go from there. Keep you guys posted when I get back from this little van trip. alternator is hooked up to the battery. It's kind of sort of charging. I don't know how all you guys are going to be able to hear, but we found a 100 amp hour battery. Went to the hardware store, just got home. These were on sale, which was even better. 200 amp hour batteries. I think I only need the one for now. Like I said, not that big of a deal. However, we'll get these laid out, put them in. We got new connections right here, because I think the bolt size might be different. That's a thread-in battery. They had a bigger version, they had a smaller version. This is the one that was on sale. That's what I got, and I got 2 of them. So these were on sale for $89 a piece. Grab 2. I'm only going to hook up the one for now. I'm going to throw the other one in the garage. If I don't want to run 2, we'll return it. Not that big of a deal. If I do want to run 2, I can double the amperage hours. So if these are 100 amp, we'll have 200 amp. I just got to build the frame for it because I only have one made. So hopefully this will drop in. You won't be able to see it because it's way too dark in here. I wanted to do that, but not that difficult. There's a battery way in back there, next to the power inverter. Disconnect that, hook the same wires up to this one, and we'll come back once I get it all installed. Well, we are back way later than I anticipated. It's dark out. I still have to go back to the shop and mount some tires. Mountain balance job, pain in the ass. We're a ways off from that. I'm not bringing you guys with for that. However, the van is now pitch black. But if we click this over to 2, hit the fancy power button, we got 3 bars up there. Our good vibes light is back on. So I was 100% correct. The battery was shot. Look at that. That's mood lighting. That's what that's called. That is now working. 1, 2 auxiliary on the switch is fully mechanical. So like I said, this is the boat switch. We have an off, which bypasses everything. 1 runs the back of the van on the front battery. All will charge from the alternator, and 2 is just the marine battery. That ended up being, as conveniently as it could possibly be, the exact same size. So it fit right into the battery tray. Since they were on clearance, I bought 200 amp hours. So between both, now I have 1 battery. I can bridge them. I'm not doing that before the trip this weekend because I don't have the big eyelets that I need for that. But we'll run both batteries next year. All I need to do is 1x1 stud, wrap around, make a mount for the battery, put those in, and then we'll have 200 amp hour battery. I'm still gonna try and fix the other one that came in the van that was working last year that is not currently working. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Choppers are coming back next week after we get done with the TorqueFest show, where we just hang out with friends on the other side of Iowa that we don't get to see that often. Catch you guys later. Well, it's the next day. Did manage to get the van all figured out last night. Was just a bad battery, so got that hooked up. It was on the charger. Charging up the little jump pack. I don't anticipate needing that for that. However, when we're doing a camping weekend, that makes a lot of sense because it's got a bunch of USB ports and it's a pretty big battery. Daddy, while I was working today, came around and decked out the van. So went through and redid all the lighting strips that she wanted to do. So we clicked this over to 2, hit our on button for the inverter, on and charging, and all new LED lighting. It's a little rudimentary with the light strips, but whatever. I know that looks kind of goofy on the GoPro with the LED stuff, but these are actually all gel coated too, compared to the old ones that we had in here that was just like a tape strip. It's got a sealer like a silicone or something around them. Looks a lot better. But we are all set for TorqueFest. Just doing the final packing, which is good. And then if we come over here, storage totes, tables, things like that, and then the travel all hitch. This was always a pain carrying a spare tire, but we put the mount on last summer. So we are good to go. If you're out at TorqueFest, hit us up. We'll be in the camping area all weekend. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things. Just rolled that 1,000 mark. Still trying to build up a little bit more. Trying to get a store set up here pretty soon when we get back from this trip, and we got one more. And then I'm gonna go hard on trying to set up the internet stuff. Get the shirts and everything else listed on the internet. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.